Hello internet, hello Sam, and welcome back to another episode of After Campfire. I added a pause because it gives it more significance. But yeah, it's my turn to make an episode even though we're off by a week because Sam, you were late. Okay, whatever. I'm very tired right now. I had to wake up for work at like 4:30 and then drive an hour plus some south to go to another factory for Boeing down there, which is something I was worried that I would have to do more often back months and months ago, before you even left for camp. And I didn't think I'd have to ever really do it again until I had to this week. Though I didn't really have to, but I felt really bad because no one wants to do the shifts down there. But we need people to do the shifts down there. And the guy who's in charge of it at my company is like, come on, please, someone, anyone go down there. And it sucks for him. But I did my shift. I might do more. I have like a set of, or like a week in the future where I have very little work to do. So maybe I'll offer to do it more then. But I really don't like it. I especially don't like it because apparently I didn't need to get there till 9:30, but no one told me. So I got there, or aimed to get there for 7:30. But I also forgot that if I leave that early in the morning, like 2 hours before 7:30, I don't have to worry about traffic. So I got there an hour early. So long story short, I didn't need to wake up at 4:30 to go there because I didn't need to be there till 9:30. And it was boring. I was basically someone's assistant for a day. I don't know why they needed someone from my company to come. Yeah, that's Henry's Diary of How to Adult, I guess. How to keep being an adult and stuff and things. I can't do Henry's Diary of How to Adult because that was me getting a job, not me having a job. But yeah, so I'm tired. I hate when I have days like that because that day, yesterday, isn't as bad as the next day when I'm like recovering from sleeping for 3 hours or whatever. But I guess I should move on to our questions. So Sam, I asked you something along the lines of how do you feel about, I don't know, asking other people for help and allowing yourself to be supported by your friends and family. And you were so uncomfortable about answering the fact that you aren't a fan of it. Neither am I. That's probably, and that's most of why I was asking. I figured you'd agree, but you were so uncomfortable by it. You could have just said no. And very briefly being like, I don't like relying on people. I don't want to feel like that, but whatever. I'm sorry for asking you such a difficult question. I did not mean it to be. But yeah, I'm always really amazed by people who do not care about heavily relying on people. I feel like there isn't much of a middle ground in this regard. There is people who are like super opposed to it and people who are like, yeah, sure, whatever, give me your stuff. So I don't know. I knew you weren't on that camp. I know people who are in that camp, which is why I'm bringing that up. Those people worry me. But yes, I don't like that either. I want to do it on my own. Why did I punch myself? I don't know. So Sam, after having asked you apparently a hard question, you asked me a really hard question for me, which was what is something from the past that I would want now? And for me, someone who likes to have the things that are now and current and modern, it's very difficult for me to answer that because although I like the fact that you have a typewriter and when I go over to your place in like 2 months, I will probably ask to try it because I enjoy old technology, but I don't really care to own it. Unless it actively plays a role in my life, such as like my Nintendo 64, which is set up, even though it might be broken, I haven't tested it out in a while. It's not really for me. I don't really care. I mean, like, I like to experience them, but I don't need to have it for myself. However, I know one thing that doesn't exist today that I really wish did. Well, doesn't really exist. Like, one thing about this whole question is, I could say, I want a medieval sword! But like, we could make better swords right now with modern technology, so that's not really getting something from the past and having it be special. It's just an old version of something we can make better now, even if it's not something people ordinarily use now. But I know what I want. I want an airship. There was a time in history where people thought the future of flight was giant blimps and airships, and it was the coolest thing. Like, it's so exciting that was once a thing where giant, like, it was like sky whales flying through the skies, and like future drawings at the time in the like early 1900s were like, the world will be filled with skyships. Everything will be skyships because skyships are amazing. And I never got to go in one. I've never even been in a hot air balloon. Well, technically I did because my mom went on one when she was pregnant with me. But that's not really true and like the same. Skyships were meant to be an experience of the most luxurious kind in the sky, like a fancy, extra fancy cruise ship in the air. And that is something that did not come true. Freaking Hindenburg exploding and ruining everything. Why would you use hydrogen? Just use helium. I don't care that it's becoming rare on Earth. We'll get fission. No, fusion. We'll get fusion to work. We'll make new and helium. But yeah, I want a skyship. I don't need to own it. I just want them to exist in the wild so that if I'm driving around, I just see epic skyships in the distance, and it would be wonderful. So, Sam, I didn't really think of a question in advance, but I feel like we've asked this kind of question before, like, you asked me about something in the past, so let me ask you something about the future. So, I can't really ask you what's one thing you want from the future, but I'll ask you this. What do you think your favorite new thing will be in 10 years? Like, what do you think you want from the future, but you think will actually happen? So, yeah, that's my question. What do you think your new favorite thing will be in 10 years that you think will actually happen? I look forward to hearing your answer soon. All right, I'm about to turn this camera off. Are you ready?